Hey yo, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. My name is Sufferplenty, but everybody calls me Rye, and today I want to talk about the meaning behind my song Trigger Happy. Trigger Happy is one of the songs off my new album With Friends Like These that I released back in December, and I made a video for The Crash. If you want to check that out, I would highly appreciate it. So Trigger Happy is somewhat of a political song. If you've listened to it, you know what I mean. I didn't intentionally mean for it to end up a political song. It's just kind of the way that it ended up being, because like originally Trigger Happy was a song that was supposed to have a feature on it, and I actually tailored this song specifically for a friend of mine who I had known since like 2017, and he was really into like the horrorcore genre, and I'd actually made like 2 songs with him. So like my only experience working with him was working on his songs.
And I don't know what I love, all the darkest intentions. I don't know how to live without breathing in darkness.
Breathing in darkness, I show my insides. Alcohol liver, smoke to my kidneys. It's non-stop and my heart keeps on beating, but my brain cells are no longer repeating their course of action.
I don't know, living on I don't know, living on I don't know, living on I see your eyes cut I don't know, living on I don't know, living on I don't know, living on I see your eyes cut.
My room is like a bouncy house, I'm off the walls. I wake up in the morning and I'm rising with the sun. I can't sleep at night, so I'm asleep most of the day, dreaming of your kryptonite and all the black parades. I wish I had a death note so I could write down your name. It's lucky I don't remember it, I just remember your face.
This was supposed to be the first time that he would be collaborating on one of my songs, which was really sentimental to me because I looked up to him like a brother. And it's kind of saddening that like this song, I would say now it has a positive memory to it, but before I couldn't touch the song for a really long time because I was kind of devastated by the fact that this guy who was supposed to feature on it originally, he kind of like, so the song has always been called Trigger Happy. That's just what I felt the title should be. And when I finished my part, which was only the first verse, I sent it to him and he started kind of like trying to take control. And if you know anything about collaborating with artists, they send you a song and then like you just put your verse on it and send it back. Like you don't try to do any wacky crazy shit because that's just stepping on people's toes and it's kind of disrespectful. So I kind of felt disrespected when he started trying to like put guitar riffs on it and like tried to get me to change the title of it. And I was like, no bro, like, you know, I understand what you're trying to do, but like this is my song and I want it to be called Trigger Happy. So regardless of what you think, it's gonna be called Trigger Happy. But he ended up sending it back to me completed. And I don't even remember what the song title was now that he wanted it to be, but he ended up sending it back to me with the title that he wanted instead of the title of what I named it. And he was very offended and upset when I told him like, the guitar riffs are cool, but it's not really what I wanted. And since it's my song, I feel like, you know, what I wanted should have been respected and it wasn't. And additionally, like, when you use a beat, like I didn't make that beat, it's produced by Astral, I believe, and it's pretty frowned upon to like take somebody else's beat and like add your own twist to it. So I was like, hey, like no, I'm not doing that. And I already like the way that the beat is without adding on to it, which is why I chose the beat. And like I didn't want it to be like a rock song or anything like that. And that's kind of what the guitar riffs made it sound like. I just wanted it to be like a dark trap song, you know what I mean? That's it. It was just supposed to be like a chill, dark trap song, and he just kind of started doing a whole lot, doing more than he needed to. And it's kind of sad looking back because like it ended our friendship, and he just kind of decided he didn't want anything to do with me moving forward from that point. And like I have no hate towards him, but it's just like you really chose to end the friendship versus just being like, okay, agree to disagree, we're not gonna work well together on this track, so let's just like not work together and just stay friends. But yeah, so Trigger Happy ended up having some pretty bad memories for me because this was way back in 2020, which is pretty much when this album started like moving. And so I didn't even pick this song back up until last year, 2023. It was right before my partial thyroidectomy, so like July. because I recorded it in the same sitting as You Better Run, because I was under the impression that when I had this surgery I wouldn't be able to like raise my voice for a long time, and fortunately that wasn't the case. My voice came back very quick. It was like hard to talk at first, but I didn't have any problems getting back to recording music, thankfully. But picking it back up in 2023 was really weird, because besides my friend from before, who's not my friend anymore, I actually did have one other person who I tried to get on this song, and that was another shitty situation. I don't know what it was about that time frame. Like, I think 2020 to 2021, I was being disrespected left and right, and people were just insanely wasting my time. I'm glad now that doesn't really happen to me, probably just because I put my foot down a little bit more, whereas before I kind of had like this anxiety towards working with people that I don't have anymore. But this guy, he was really cool, and I took him as like a serious artist because he was performing shows and stuff. So I really wanted him on this song to replace my friend, and for some reason, even though he would mix his own vocals, he sent it to me to mix. He wanted me to mix his own vocals. And I was like, no man, like I did my part. I recorded, you know, the song, I mixed my part. Like, the line ends when I send it to somebody else. Like, that's your responsibility, and then you send it back to me. Like, I'm not gonna mix your shit. I don't even know what he wants to sound like, you know what I mean? Like, my presets are for my voice. I'm not gonna sit here and try to like figure all that out, because I barely know what I'm doing with my own vocals. But that didn't work out, almost forgot about that. But moving back onto when I had picked it back up right before my surgery, I had pretty much just decided, because since there were so many errors with working with people, I would just make this one of the songs on the album that would be just by myself. And that second verse I had just seen, so the end sample that I used, I had just seen that on TikTok, and I knew for a fact I wanted to use that in something. And immediately Trigger Happy came to mind, and then I kind of used that sample as a way to influence the lyrics that I wrote, which is why it ended up being kind of political. Because I was angry, and I'm still angry about like the way that our country is right now, and also like police brutality and how police are constantly getting away with treating people like shit and like literally assaulting people, and there's no consequences. They get like paid leave, they never get taken to court, and most of the time when they do, it just gets thrown out. It's honestly just a bunch of bullshit. So I kind of used that to try to make this song powerful. And I don't know, a lot of people say like, oh, if you're a musician or whatever, like just stay out of politics and like keep your nose down. But I was like, I have seen so many artists that I look up to stick their nose in politics, and I think that it's actually a good thing when people are talking about it and when you're putting it into songs. It brings a lot of awareness to it. So I knew that I wanted to do something like that, even if it didn't have an impact right now. Maybe in the future people will look back on this song and be like, damn, that's powerful. Like, I wanted it to kind of have a shock effect. But yeah, I just wanted like the first verse to be chill, and then the second verse to just kind of be like, okay, now I'm mad, now I'm angry, now the dog's riled up. I think, I don't know, man, everybody's got so many mixed opinions, but I think despite how you feel about police brutality and like gun control, it is factual that our country really hasn't like tried to do anything. Like, the thing that really gets me is the fact that like, we can always move forward and then like revert back if something doesn't work. But our country isn't even willing to try anything. We just kind of like, there's a problem, right? And instead of facing it direct on, I have literally witnessed our government go around it instead of working through it. Like, school shootings in America, man, it's fucked up that in other countries a shooting happens and like they'll cancel everything for like 2 days and everybody will be in a state of mourning. But in the United States, we are so used to shootings and school shootings and children dying that it's just another day. And I don't know, it's just literally just another day. You know, we don't, it's sad, but we're like, damn, you know, this happens all the time and we're just used to it. And we shouldn't be used to it, we really shouldn't. But instead of like trying to make it harder for people to get guns, we've come up with what, like, I don't know if you've seen on TikTok, there was a classroom that had like this bulletproof like thing that would come off the wall and basically be like a bulletproof box. And I'm like, dude, why are we doing this? Like, we are doing so many dumb things to try to solve this problem, instead of like facing it head on. It's sad that that's how it is. And like I've seen people online try to say like, oh well, we should give teachers guns. Like, okay, if guns are the problem, what makes you think that adding more guns to this equation would be a good idea? Like, it reminds me of that Spider-Man meme. If everybody's got a gun, how do you know who the good guy is versus the bad guy? You don't. You won't be able to tell. And then, you know, like teachers, they didn't sign up to sit here and be like armed in bulletproof vests and have like fucking AK-47s and shit. Like they want to teach kids. They want to teach kids, man. That's what they want to do. And I don't know, to just try to say that a good solution is to arm them up like they're in the military, we shouldn't have to do that. That's not, if we had like, I feel like a lot of it is a mental health crisis, because if you know anything about the United States, our healthcare is shit, our housing is shit, our people are unhappy. And I think if you touch on every single political issue we have going on in this country, it would slowly solve school shootings and police brutality and all that shit. But we're not even willing to try anything, you know? Like, I think a lot of the times if mental health wasn't so stigmatized and people were able to ask help, and not only ask for help but be able to receive help, it would make everything a lot better, because then these people wouldn't just go shoot up schools, or you know what I mean? Like, anyway, there's just a lot of hatred in this country, and it's just really, from being in high school to being a grown adult, I'm 22 years old, just seeing everything and like how we've handled it, it just makes me angry, because we haven't handled it at all. We just kind of sweep it under the rug, and we're not willing to try anything, even though everybody wants to try things. And like I said, you can always revert it back, but it's whatever, I suppose. It is just what it is at this point, and there's nothing anybody can do about it, which really sucks, because it's fucked up, man. Whenever I was in high school, I had a fear of school shootings, and like our school was protected with like all the doors were locked. To get in, you had to use an intercom system and like state your business and like who you are, which made me feel really safe. But like if I was going to school now in 2024, I don't think I would want to go to school, man. Like, I feel like bulletproof vests are the new backpack, and like there was a meme about that, and it was like, instead of graduation caps, it was bulletproof vests. And like, why, we shouldn't be making memes about this. Like, it shouldn't be that normalized in our society, but it is. So anyway, that's the meaning behind Trigger Happy, and just kind of like where my head was when it came to like the inspiration behind it, and just like everything that I've seen, man. I really hope that someday things get better, and like, I think if citizens of the United States were happier, we wouldn't really have this many issues. But a lot of the problem is that everybody is really unhappy. There's a mental health crisis. Guns are too accessible. It just, man, there's a lot going on. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more content. Follow me on my social medias. And if you would like to, you can stream my music on preferably Spotify, but it is available on all platforms. And please keep running up my album. I will be releasing a new song very, very soon, probably the end of February. And I know that for a fact now, because I just got done recording back here. And this song is going to blow you away, I promise. It's produced by 6ix9ine. He produced Blind Envy. He's a fucking god. I'm so excited to release this next song. But until next time, peace. Thank you so much for watching. I'm never gonna be okay. It's the bloodstains, and the blade stings when I feel nothing. And I feel like there's no way that I'm ever gonna be okay, that I'm ever gonna be